up, and welcome back to the Section 10 Podcast, episode 467, presented by Underdog Fantasy. It is the home of your 19-16 third place Boston Red Sox. My name is Jared Carabas, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Coley Mick, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Tyler Milliken, and he killed his dog Bullet, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guys in the room. Steve, how you doing?
What up, Section 10 in the building?
In the motherfucking building. Presented by Blue Moon.
Suck one.
Red Sox lost a series, but I feel fine. I feel good right now. I mean, listen, hey, happy flight, happy pod. I'm good. You win the last one. Twins won 12 straight. Nothing to hang your hat over. It was a convincing victory today. I mean, you know, you lose Rob Refsnyder. Hopefully it's not for any extended amount of time. You got out of there with anybody dying. Like, I'm happy. What, Tyler?
We do have other bad news besides Rob Refsnyder. I don't mean to kill the vibe, but we do.
You did.
Chris Martin is dealing with a left shoulder injury, and he's a candidate to land on the injured list. So it's another thing we have to worry about.
Whatever. Next man up. Like, he's been bad. Like, you know,
what is this trend, Tyler? We're going to start all these shows with just
positivity just immediately snuffed out by Tyler. Listen, Chris Martin has not been good. So if he needs to go on the injured list to get better, then I'm fine with that. Next man up. If Justin Slayton was going on the injured list, and that kills the vibes, I feel like, a little bit, you know. Chris Martin, okay, it's, you know, on paper it's a loss. Steve,
I think we kind of feel like Giants fans. We get out of there with a nice series W. You feel good about yourselves. It's going to be a positive show.
Yeah.
Alex Cora looked the happiest I've seen him all season.
Oh, he's pumped to win one. He was pumped to win one today. You go to him in the clubhouse after the game, and he was all smiles ear to ear. He was like, listen, you know, we won the game, but we got a lot of wins within the game. You know, Dom Smith, 2-run double, Vaughn Grissom, welcome to the club. You know, it was another bullpen game. Last year, we would look up and see TBD on the pitching probables for 2 out of 3 of the games in the series and be like, well, we're fucked. Well, guess what? The Red Sox are now winning those baseball games.
TBD got a lot of experience last year and looks a lot better after getting that experience.
We love TBD on this show.
I also
love
think
TBD.
He's starting to feel a relief because he knows this stretch of bullpen games, it's not going to be like this moving forward. You get Pivetta coming back in Atlanta. Brian Bayo rehab on Tuesday, should be back by end of the week. The hardest part in terms of managing the pitching staff right now should be over. This was the last kind of push you needed to get through.
I'll feel some relief when you fucking apologize for the trouble that you got us in with Klark's Ketchup.
Wait, don't.
Shut up.
That was like,
no. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are following along on social media, at Section 10 Pod on Twitter, at Section 10 Podcast on Instagram. But Klark's Ketchup, they run a tight ship, as they should. The most prestigious ketchup brand in the world, not the country, the damn world. And they sponsor the series MVP right here on the Section 10 Podcast. And we had our very own Tyler Milliken, as we're talking about drizzling that ketchup, waving a packet of another brand of ketchup. I'm not even going to say the name. Waving another brand of ketchup in the camera when we're talking about drizzling that ketchup. Tyler, what do you have to say for yourself, my man?
First and foremost, I fucked up. I grabbed a ketchup packet. I thought it was a Klark's ketchup packet. I have a lot around my house, actually. They've sent me quite a few different shipments, but I had that company still sitting in my room somewhere. But since I've started eating clean... Which company
was it?
Heinz.
I gave you the chance to sit. I gave you the chance to say that you're never going to repeat that name again. And this man can't control himself. Tyler, you have a problem, dude. You have a problem. I literally...
No free ads, come on.
I put it on a tee for you to be like, I'm not saying the name of that fucking company. And it came off the tongue so fast.
It's like I'm speaking to the
Holy
police. I'm
shit.
scared at every move that I'm going to get locked up. I'm getting charged with something. I need to ask one thing of you. One thing.
What?
Can you play my haiku music? I have an apology.
Wait, it can't double down as apology music, right?
Haiku music is apology music?
Apology haiku music.
What? Why would it be apology music? Haikus are happy. It's when the Red Sox win a series and you're talking about all the great things that happen. You want to put a stain on that music because you want to apologize for your atrocities over it?
Poetry knows all emotions. It's not just positive. Sometimes when you need to fix something,
is it an apology haiku?
It is.
Then lead with that, Tyler.
That's what I just told you.
No, you didn't. You said I have an apology. Can I have my haiku music? You didn't say the apology was a haiku. Coley?
He would have to be, and I don't want to give him much credit. He doesn't earn it, deserve it. No. He would have to be some kind of stupid to ask for the haiku music if this apology wasn't in haiku form.
Agreed. Jake, did he say that the apology was a haiku?
No, he didn't specify.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
Just
Steve,
play the music.
Steve.
What's up?
Steve, should he be able to use the haiku music to read his apology?
I love the haiku music because it means we have the coups coming. Like I like to know that
this is a haiku. It's a haiku apology.
Man, this makes it tough.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay. No, put your fucking finger down. I'm okay with it. Jake, what's your thoughts on this? Yes or no?
I feel like the haiku music is sacred.
Yeah, it does feel wrong. My gut's saying it feels wrong. That's all. I just... Yeah.
Coley?
Can you pull up the tequila song? You know, the one's like, da-na-da-na-na-na-da-da. I feel like that should be his apology music.
That doesn't carry the emotion of this apology.
I feel like it does.
Are you trying to restore good tidings between us and...
Good now. We got an apology out of the way. The Red Sox lost the series, but happy flight, baby. They won that game. And I'm happy about that. I'm also happy about what's going on with Underdog. Because right now, Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. Make entries of all baseball or mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. I know Jake was raking in the dough last night as the Bruins closed out Game 7 at the Garden. How much money did you take in last night, Jake?
I was just hitting those hires on every single Bruins, and I'm going to do it all week for Celtics, too. It's going to be
Please do. Please do. Go Celtics, go Bruins, go Sox. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That is Jared. And Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That is Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good coming off a series loss, all things considered. Got the off day, so you got a nice win going into an off day on Monday. Also, you know what? Since we're in the arena of apologizing and clearing the air, the Section 10 podcast Reddit picked up on some hostility maybe between Tyler and Steve. Do you guys want to talk this out? Like, is this something that we need to have like kangaroo court over? Is there an issue here? That there may be some hostility between. Is there any hard feelings? Like, is this something that we need to do kangaroo court? Do we need to talk this out, or is this a non-issue?
I thought we've been going good. No, am I
thought
wrong
you've been going
here?
good too. I thought my opinion, unbiased, as I kind of sit unbiased here as a person that's just, I'm on the podcast, but I'm listening as I'm on it, right? And I thought at the very beginning, I was like, whoa, okay, all right, yeah, they're a little snippy with each other.
It was
first couple
early.
episodes. I haven't gotten that sense recently. I haven't.
No, I honestly, Tyler, I'm going to be fully honest on this program here. Early on, and I mentioned it on here, I think I was a little snippy. I think Tyler was a little snippy with me. It's the natural dogs barking at each other thing. I mean, we've been on opposite shows for the last couple of years. And the only thing, and I am consistent with this, the only thing Tyler does that makes me want to kill him is when he tells me to shut up or stop talking, because it's so over the top and out of nowhere.
Somebody has to do it.
Tyler, this is not helping it. That doesn't help it, my brother. It'll be out of nowhere. And he did it to Jared. Tyler does this.
I'll do it to everybody.
No, I know. Trust me. I don't take it as personally now because I see you give that to everybody. So it's not like it's just me. But yeah, outside of that, I think everything's been fine.
No,
Right?
I think with me and you, Steve, I think we're the same cloth. So sometimes when we like start bickering back and forth in those moments, it's just our kind of humor coming together. But Steve, you were the one I had obviously interacted with the least out of anyone here.
Yeah.
We've gotten to grow and get closer the last couple episodes or the last month and a half now. I consider you a brother to me, and I'm a big Steve Peralt guy. I'll say that here. I'll say that anywhere.
Thank
It's
you.
extremely nice of you. I'm a huge Tyler Milliken guy. I wouldn't have said that when I started the show.
Yeah.
But no, I'll say it now. Well, I didn't know enough. I
didn't
just
know.
assumed that we were like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I think we don't like each other. And then I'm like, no, Tyler's fine. He's, he does his Tyler stuff, but yeah, he's good.
At the end of the day, we both fuck up a lot. We're the ones on the podcast that tend to make mistakes.
Hey, whoa, time out. I'll step in right there. Nobody fucks up as much as you do. And
that's
brothers
fair.
in arms.
But it's
That's
nice
what I
to
meant-
see
that's what I
someone
meant
else
by
fuck
Tyler
up.
stuff.
And
He
it's
does-
not
yeah.
even close. Like, it's not even close. And Tyler, you're my guy. Name redacted. We did it for 2 years. Took you with me. Section 10 2.0. You're here. You're one of us. Nobody fucks up more than you do.
That's who I am, though. If I wasn't fucking up, I wouldn't be Tyler.
But you're learning, right?
I think I'm
But-
getting better.
You also just tried to say Steve was the exact same.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
come
we're
on,
both
me and-
fuck-ups.
me
We're
and
just
you.
a couple guys that got 52 suspensions on the year
Yeah,
each.
yeah.
952, is it that different?
It's-
Come on.
It's like when they show like most goals by brothers in the NHL, and it's like Wayne Gretzky and like Phil Gretzky, whatever his fucking brother's name is.
It's like it's
He's
Corey
chipped in like
Seager and Kyle
3.
Seager, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. One dude
Oh,
got 300
man.
million.
It's true.
Yeah.
One thing
even
I'll say real
Kyle.
quick, Jared. One thing I'll say real quick. I think we all keep a good eye on the replies that we get, the reaction we get from the listeners. We care a lot about the listeners of this program. There are some folks that think we bully Tyler too much. I don't know if that's necessarily true. What I do know is a lot of it is probably necessary to be quote unquote bullied. I don't like the bully word. I don't like going that far. I think Tyler has done a great job of meshing with a show that has 3 dudes on it that did like 300 episodes together. That is not an easy thing to then just jump right in and now be part of the crew. So I tip my cap to you, Tyler. I think you've done a great job.
Thank you. And I look at it, I didn't have big brothers growing up, Coley.
I've been reading through my mentions, Steve. It says we're not bullying Tyler nearly enough. That's just the feedback I've been getting from the fans that we listen to and care very much. So
We're being honest here. So there you go.
yeah.
There's a group of the audience, I think, that would like to see me suspended for an entire episode. I've seen those recommendations
You're getting
recently. We can
Getting
talk
it.
about it. I don't make that
Well,
decision. You do.
No. Here's the thing. If we lost Clark's, you're probably kicked off the show. If we
Forever?
can't lose. Yeah.
Well, the amount of money they're giving it, we don't want to say what the deal is, but
It's $2.5 billion. And
Billion with a B?
Yep.
With a B. If we lost Klark's, the lights go out. The lights go out. You know?
And your lights go out.
I remember thinking it was wild because like the next closest deal was $1 million, and they're like, no. We're doing 2.5 billion because we want to make sure we get this.
Yeah, they were like, we want to be the official Ketchup partner of the Section 10 podcast, which, you know, that little fucking company that you want to wave around last podcast, very competitive in the space, and they were outbid
substantially
by $2 billion.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why they went that high, but hey, we'll take it.
You know, hey, listen, Jay, cut that part. I don't want to disclose any of the negotiations.
Yeah, we can bleep it maybe.
Yeah. Well, now that that's out of the way, does everyone feel better?
Yeah.
I love you, Steve.
Love you, Tyler. I already felt good for the record. I don't know if that.
Me too.
I think earlier on that probably needed to be addressed, but not now. I don't think.
No,
but we did.
I like getting after Steve once an episode because I do like your reactions. I do think they're kind of funny.
Yeah, this isn't kumbaya. I mean, I feel like
it makes me so mad.
Yeah, I feel
like, a little bit.
It does.
I can tell.
He's like, no, it does.
No, I'm acting, but no, it does. It pisses me off.
I won't do it, Steve. I promise.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you.
I'm like, don't do it. Like, no, don't do it.
For the audio listeners, I know we got a lot of people over on the tube and go subscribe there, but for the audio listeners, you should see the size of the knife Steve has been sharpening during this entire conversation.
Steve's not killing me. Let's be real.
If Tyler wanted everyone to die in this, luckily no one was murdered in this series.
No deaths.
Zero.
I would have cut the sausage out on Friday night. I would have taken the risk at that point. I was not going that far. Uwasawa, watching him pitch clock violation with the bases loaded. Slice the sausage. No,
that was Friday. That was game 1.
All right, correct.
I'm kind of putting off getting into this series. I'll be honest.
Boring.
The first game. Since we're here,
snooze.
The first game, a full page of notes. I had a full page of notes on that first game. The second game, half a page. Not even. Today's game, obviously, there was plenty of notes because the Red Sox ended up scoring 9 runs, but we don't obviously jump ahead or anything. It was just like a little tease.
Can't do
that. Won't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Yeah, some of the things that I said, I feel like I was out of pocket a lot in my notes this series. A lot of stuff I said just ended up being fucking mean or wrong. A lot of stuff I said.
This series kind of feels like you get in a fight with a friend or something, and then you make up, and you're like, actually, no, we're fine. After the series finale today, I'm like, oh no, okay, because I put a tweet out there that I immediately regretted. I was like, oh, they're not going to score again. This sucks. And then they scored, and I'm like, no, we're good. Everything's fine.
Where is it? Not to jump ahead here. The notes on the third game. Home run Ryan Jeffers were definitely getting swept 1-0 Twins. So that ended up being wrong. And I can admit that.
Immediately wrong, too. Like, several pitches later wrong.
We'll get there.
Yeah. I know. No, listen. I know.
Yeah, I don't want to just jump ahead to the third game. We haven't even... Coley?
This isn't jumping ahead because it took place every game.
Yeah.
I'd like the Twins field investigated. There's so much field there. Like, that outfield was fucking... There's so much outfield. What are
Especially
they doing?
Right. Yeah.
And right just keeps going.
Dude, the parks, Anaheim has this too. The parks where it's like, where does your wall end? I hate that. Like, you hit it out there and it's like, is that a homer? Because sometimes you can hit it off of like parts of wall, but it's like, well, it's above the purple line. I'm like, what? Who makes this stuff up out here? At least the Green Monster, it's like very clear. Monster seats, home run. There you go.
Even the Twins players, Carlos Correa had that deep sac fly in the second game when Slayton was out there. Completely convinced it was gone. He got to first base and saw Duran come down with it. Duran shocked. Correa's shocked. This guy plays half his games at the ballpark. Are you kidding me? Vaughn Grissom's bat flipping because he thought that ball was 10 rows back today.
That was correct.
That was a correct bat flip because it was a home run to me.
Yes, to all of us.
Would have been a grand slam, but we're jumping ahead right now.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
I just want to talk about the field and how much of it there was.
The field was the whole series, not jumping ahead.
Yeah. That's the thing that, baseball is one of those games, very wonky game. and I'm not gonna use the F word
No,
here. I'm not using that word here.
no,
It's
but it's
wonky.
close. It's close.
Yeah. It's in the same neighborhood, but baseball is a wonky game, right? Like Fenway Park, there's just a 37-foot tall wall. Like we don't talk enough about how stupid that is. You go to Fenway, there's a 37-foot wall in left field. There used to be a flagpole in center field in Houston. There's just a lot of quirky
Bring it back.
stuff that's going on in Major League Baseball. You know what I would really love? And maybe this is a conversation for the future. I don't know. But you should be able to customize your ballpark, like how there's retractable roofs. There should be retractable walls. Like, oh shit, like they have like a lot of power hitting left-handed bats. Let's move the right field wall back. Like we're kind of like heavy right-handed, so like whatever. You should be able to do that in certain ballparks as long as the dimensions are set before the series starts. You should be able to do that.
I mean, you talk about ground rules, right? It's like, all right, the ground rules for this series is that the wall on right is half the size it normally is.
I want something that resembles like the MVP Baseball 05 mini games where you have like the tractors moving around. You have these little like scales that make the ball fly that, go even quicker. Give me multiple things in the field that kind of customize the ballpark so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Speaking of ballparks, Blue Moon was born in a ballpark. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
You did know that. Everyone listening knows that. Jake, I know, knows that. Because some beers can say that they're brewed for baseball, but only Blue Moon is brewed by baseball. Beer and baseball just go together, and no beer goes better than the one that was literally born in a ballpark. Blue Moon was created at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. It's the natural choice for opening day and all season long. Jake, I know like when you're watching the Bruins, it's probably like a nervous experience for you. Do you consume more Blue Moons when you're nervous watching games, or is it something where you're just super locked in the game? You can't really be putting down Blue Moons like you normally do.
I responsibly consume as many as I possibly can during a game 7.
Yeah. That's what I figured. I just wasn't sure. From its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander, Blue Moon Belgian style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Blue Moon was brewed by baseball to give you a dose of nostalgia and get you excited for the new season. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something that is one of a kind? Its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience that is perfect for spring weather. Best served with its signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful hazy color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Bring the ballpark to you with Blue Moon Belgian style wheat ale. It's a one-of-a-kind beer every time. Get Blue Moon delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared to see your delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon, made brighter, celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. First line here says Garrett Cooper squanders a perfect opportunity to drive in some runs. Weak ass ground out, second and third. Bob beats that out. That's in the first inning of game 1.
If you look at Garrett Cooper's line right now, it actually looks pretty similar to what Bobby Delbeck was
You know
doing.
what I'm saying?
He even
Tyler,
has the negative OPS plus.
Like, they brought in 2 players to replace one Bob, and they still can't do it.
That's not true. Let's not go that far.
No, it is pretty true.
Dominic Smith is definitely batting better than what Bob was. He's like 3 for 14.
Yeah,
Bob would
Bob
pray
had a
for that
5-game
right
hitting
now.
streak, so that's more than 3 hits.
But none of the balls left the infield, so let's be real. Yeah, he's hitting 250. Like, all right,
Listen,
I can't hate Dominic
if one
Smith
of
for
these
that.
guys is going to hit the ball in the outfield and then get thrown out at second, and I'm not skipping ahead, but get thrown out second by 700 feet, what the fuck's the difference?
As Alex Cora said,
That
we
is
love
true.
aggression. We're never going to punish anyone for trying too hard on the baseball field, and I'm going to fall with that line of thinking right there.
Garrett Cooper, 1 for 13 with a weak single. Dom Smith, 4 for 16 with 1 extra base hit. And then, again, not jumping ahead, tried for another one, was the dumbest decision ever, and didn't get it.
If I was hating on myself, I'd tell you maybe you have to take away one of those hits because Manuel Margot lost the battle with the sun. That is
Just
how
call
that
him
double
Manuel?
fell in.
Just call him Manuel.
Manuel?
First of all, it's Manuel. Most people call him Manny.
Manuel.
Manny Margot.
And you call him Valdez.
They're hitting 172.
Who's they?
Dom and Coop.
Who is they?
The Bob replacements, 172.
That's not good in your opinion, right, Steve?
That's bad.
Yes, Tyler.
I think where you have to be a little patient here. You know, we're talking 4 or 5 games. At least when we're talking Garrett
Now
Cooper.
you want to be patient. Now you want to practice the art of patience.
Let's be real. Garrett Cooper has been a better big league hitter in his career than Bobby Delbeck has ever been. Go ahead, Jared.
Jared.
Coley, question for you, actually.
Yeah.
What month would you say is colder, April or May?
Got to go with April on that one, Jared.
Okay. What month would you say Bobby Dahlbeck had most of his plate appearances in?
This year, for sure, April.
Okay. And Dom Smith for the Red Sox?
Oh, big May guy.
So would you argue, would you say for the court here that Bobby Dahlbeck has less of an opportunity to play in warm weather where he succeeds most of the time than someone like, say, I don't know, Dom Smith?
I would argue he hasn't taken a single at bat above freezing.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the only point that I'm trying to make here. And do with that information what you will. I'm not trying to lean you in one direction or the other. I'm just kind of providing the facts here.
Dom's been better already than anything Bobby Delbeck ever did this season. First and foremost, that's not a. You can't suspend me for that. That's a fact.
Opinion. That's an opinion.
How?
That's an opinion.
An opinion.
That's an opinion.
Would you like the numbers?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah. The next line here.
And you know what? You posting that Bobby Delbeck homer video from AAA, you're encouraging this shit.
The next line here says, we're at the point where it's weird if Tanner Houck gives up runs before the 7th inning.
It's true.
I was taken aback when Tanner Houck gave up a run in the 3rd inning here, 1-0 Twins. But right, I'm kind of I'm hinting at there's probably going to be trouble in the 7th, and I'll take my L. I didn't say don't send him out for the 7th. I'm not there. I'm not like, hey, don't send him out for the 7th. Definitely do that. But it's kind of, it's foreshadowing. That's what it is. It's weird when he gives up runs before the 7th, but in the 7th, it's kind of been a mixed bag for old Tanner here.
I think getting to the 7th for Houck right now is still an accomplishment and something I look at. I'm like, all right, getting you that far, that's all I can ask out of that guy. I'm not asking him to be your ace. If you're expecting him to go out there and give you 7 every time, I think you're asking for too much at this point. And I think you look at what Houck was that day. It was the 2nd most balls he's thrown in a start. He wasn't really sharp. I give him credit for working through those things because in previous years, that was when he would go 3 or 4 innings and would be a disaster. Now you're still getting that quality start out there. And I was someone who bitched a decent amount in game when that happened, but knowing Chris Martin was down, is that why they were pushing, knowing they had a bullpen game the following day? I think Alex Cora took his chance. I'm looking at Reese McGuire really before anyone in that stupid throw into the outfield. You at least should have gotten out there. If Houck lets another run score, I have a pretty good feeling he gets out of it.
Ahead. You're jumping ahead, I feel like.
It was that inning.
Let's see.
It was the 7th. Yeah.
It was with Tanner on the mound.
Yeah, well, we're in the 3rd.
Weren't you just talking about the 7th inning?
No, he's foreshadowing.
I said we're at the point where it's weird if Houck gives up runs before the 7th inning. 1-0 Twins in the 3rd.
But then you, after that, you followed up. No, you did. You
clearly said.
This is no way. You should be suspended for this. Coley, put the finger down. Hold on.
No, Coley.
Tyler, I will club you into the ground.
I apologize. I shouldn't have done that.
He clearly stated on this recorded line, mind you, that he was foreshadowing to the 7th.
Correct.
He used the word foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I don't know if in your manga and your little avatar books, if they have foreshadowing in those. Don't know. Don't care. I know on this program, we foreshadow.
Shadow away.
Vaughn Grissom throwing to first is an experience.
Oh, it's something.
It's not
that was
bad.
Interesting.
It's just it stands out.
All I'm going to say is credit to Tyler Coley. You guys pay more attention to these guys when they're in the minor leagues. I base everybody off what they do in the big leagues. And there's part of that you adds a surprise element where it's like, okay, what's he going to look like? I didn't watch any of I almost said the Paw Sox, any of the Woo Sox games, any of the minor league stint that he had. That first throw, I was like, oh, buddy, this is what his throw to first looks like. Hey, it worked. It's a classic, if that gets the job done for you, but definitely needs some work.
I think Lou nailed it. Like, that's exactly what the scouting report from Lou was during spring training. If you watch him throw, it's uncomfortable and it's weird. And I know we're not skipping ahead here, but I did feel like the first game was a little rough. It got better with every single inning he played. He looked a little less awkward going to second. I think it's just part of it, of him learning the position, but he looks athletic out there, more athletic than Valdez ever did.
And he made the plays. So I was kind of waiting for him to sail one past first. It's like, all right, you made all the plays. You turned some double plays. That's all you can ask for, really, in the first series, being the guy at second.
Came home on that ball at the plate.
Yeah.
He's like trying to like harness some sort of, like, he has the strongest arm in the world. And he's like, how do I? It's like Josh Allen trying to throw to his running back. Like, he's thinking about it so much. And this isn't a knock before people start crying. When Story played second with Xander, he had weird arm angles and he had trouble. Yeah, he was just like, it's not where I'm used to throwing. It's a different angle. It's a different motion entirely. Now, I don't know if Vaughn can, like, he's played second plenty. Like, he did it for the Braves. He's doing it here. So that's where it's like, I don't know if that flies as much. But for someone who played his whole life at shortstop, clearly he does not have the second base arm angle, which I don't think matters when he's turning double plays. You know what I mean? Because you're throwing from second base regardless. He's definitely going to fuck one up. And I don't say that like happily, but one's for sure.
He looks like a pitcher throwing to first, right? Where it's like, I'm trying not to throw this like through you. I just want to get it to you. I want to make sure we can secure the out, and that's all. Random comparison, but watching him field, it's like he's a second baseman in like the Little League World Series, where it's like the kid's got talent, but he's going to need some time. Like, it's going to take him a little bit, a lot of reps to kind of make sure that this is consistent enough, and he's going to get those, so he should be okay.
It feels like people don't realize how young he is. He's 4 months younger than Ceddanne Rafaela. Like,
that stats put out the youngest, that he's the youngest player on the team. I'm like, that can't be right. I'm like, oh, it is. That's crazy.
And he tore up AAA last year, like, to a ridiculous level. Like, that's the kind of talent Grissom is. And I know, Sale's going to be coming up soon and people see the numbers. That's why the Red Sox made that deal.
Fucking skip ahead.
I'm leaping. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they said even on the broadcast, it's the youngest double play tandem or middle infield tandem in baseball. And I was like, kind of gets me hard. I don't hate that. I don't hate that one bit.
Next line here says, Houck out for the 7th at 90 plus pitches. Nobody warming. He's the ace. I stand by that. It's just
next
tough.
line. What's the next line?
Next line. Spoke too soon. Leadoff single. Slayton warming.
Yeah.
I hate not even having someone warming. Like, it feels greedy that they keep throwing. They've done it every start since he threw the best game in baseball history. Every time out, they're like, you're in the 7th. Like, regardless, I think this is the first time he's been above 80 pitches, like any number that begins with an 8. It just feels greedy. Like, 6 from Houck, if that's what he's going to give you, 6-1. Like, I almost tweeted it, like, six innings, 1 run, can't ask for much more. And then he goes out there for the 7th, and it's just like, why? Like, this is still a winnable game at this point. You put him out there, it no longer becomes one.
It's like they're skipping a step where it's like, all right, Tanner Houck, this is the best he's ever looked. Understandable that's the case. You want him to be a guy that can get into the 7th inning. You can have a guy warming up. It's okay to have someone warming up. That's not the end of the world. It's not like he's going to now be looking over his shoulder when he's coming out. I thought it was interesting, to say the least, that no one was in the pen at the start of the 7th.
And then when you had Slayton warming, you went to Uwasawa, which is like the punt move. You know what I mean? Like, that's punting. And, he is what he is. He's the last guy in the bullpen. I'm not going to kill the guy. He's an up and down guy or
Don't
whatever.
kill him.
But Slayton overall felt like the kind of guy, this is a good opportunity for you if Chris Martin wasn't available at that point either. Let's see if you can kind of ride with that if we need to get through a couple weeks without you.
Next line here says, what the fuck was that? Reese throws it into center field and almost kills Rafaela. That was the worst part of the play. Like, it made it 2-0 Twins, but the worst part of the play was that the throw made it so that whoever was going to second base, their knees went directly into Rafaela's ribs.
Carlos Santana was the largest person on the field.
And that's probably the only reason he's throwing it. The thing that sucks is that's the only reason he's throwing there is because he knows Santana's on first and he takes forever to get to second. But it's like, dude, that gives you even more time to complete that throw. I don't even think he should be throwing it to second to begin with.
No.
But it went as poorly as it could have gone.
No, the only smart thing that's said in the entire movie of Moneyball is when Brad Pitt's talking about bunting. If the other team wants to make mistakes, take the out and say thank you. Throw that fucking ball to first, dude. Changes the entire rest of the inning. I don't care if Carlos Santana's slow, any of this. He had like 3 doubles in this series. Obviously, he's not that fucking slow. And if we want to talk about arm action, Reese was like having trouble throwing it back to the pitcher this series. I don't know if that's always been a problem, and if I was just hyper fixated on it. That guy was. He can't throw anywhere, let alone second.
No. This was like a Nomar throw to second. He sidearmed this thing and it sailed on him. You have to, in that scenario, you have to be 100% sure that you're going to get that out at second. And there's a 0% chance that he could have been 100% sure that out was going to happen. Right. So that's what screwed them. To your point, Coley, you have to get an out. Your offense can't score either. Right. So it's like all these runs matter so much. You need to get an out there. And that was I was so pissed off when that happened.
I think that was the reason for going to second, though. You get the middle out there and you make it so you don't have 2 guys in scoring position. And say what you will about Cora. Immediately after the game goes, he made the right throwing decision. That's where he was supposed to go. He should have had the out. And Cora's the first one to tell you if it's the wrong base you're going to. He's killed plenty of guys over that before. So, like, you make the right throw, you're fine. Reese made a bad throw. That's on him. He needs to be better. And overall, the catching in this series was pretty ugly for the most part. A lot of bad mental mistakes.
You go to first there, no one's upset. I'm always thinking, all right, what's the play that would have the least amount of people upset at you? And taking it out is not going to have anyone like, what the hell are you doing? You should have gone to second. It was surprising when he started to throw it. I'm like, he's going 2 here? Like, that's never good.
You're trying to set up the double play. I get that. But even if the next ball is on the ground, you look the guy back at third and you throw to first. And then there's no sack fly. Like, it's not, I don't think it's the end of the world by any means going to first.
I think they looked at it as the difference between are we going to go down 3-0 or are we possibly going to go down 2-0? That kind of situation. You can get by maybe at 2-0 with the state of the offense and how they didn't play well the day before. I think Cora was trying, or in that moment, Reese was going there. I don't hate it. I think it was the right throw. I just think it was a bad play.
Reese made sure they went down 2-0. That's
he threw the ball into the outfield.
Happened fast.
If you're down against the Twins going into the 9th, I don't care if it's 1-0, 10-0. Like, I think they're the least beatable team in the 9th inning in all of baseball. Duran's disgusting. And we talked about it earlier this year. Jared, does anyone use the Undertaker's walkout music? He sure fucking does.
He does.
He sure fucking does.
Yeah, there's a few. It's like overused now. Pisses me off.
It's not the way he does it.
Dude. His entrance is so over the top, but it fits. It fits him.
Yeah, he throws 104. Like, if there's going to be a dude, he throws this 104 mile an hour splinker.
I can't hit that. I do want to say real quick on that entrance, like you mentioned, Jerry, a remix, really? Like, that's one of the coolest entrance songs ever. And then you go, all right, next song. No, stick with that song.
What would you say is like your favorite all time, like Undertaker match?
I mean, you're going to hit me with that right now? There's so many.
Like out of all the Undertaker matches, like what's like your number 1 favorite?
Probably against Shawn Michaels.
Like, that's not. Could you imagine the Undertaker coming out to this?
He did.
I mean, it's cool, but like,
not that cool. You can't keep switching like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
The Late Show was cool.
I like, put it this way, and you can relate to this, obviously, Steve. Like, the Undertaker is retired. He's probably never going to have a match again. Like, we got the Undertaker moment at WrestleMania this year, but in terms of like being in an arena with a crowd, I'm going to miss hearing that gong. And now like Twins fans get to experience it. If you're a wrestling fan, it's like, all right, you get to kind of like experience like the Undertaker experience for a little bit until it goes into whatever the fuck that song was. But like when Kyle Schwarber was in Boston in 2021, like that was before CM Punk. Like CM Punk wasn't back with WWE obviously, and he came out to Cult of Personality. So it was like, all right, like I'll definitely at the time didn't think he was coming back to WWE. It's like, all right, I can relive CM Punk a little bit every time Schwarber comes to play. Like that's cool. But I don't know. Entrance music it's important. I think there should be more of it. I think, all the guys that come to the plate, we've talked about this before, that come out with their stupid ass country songs. Like, no, give me something that pumps me up. Pump me up, brother.
That is what it's all about. That's the other thing why it's like, stick with that song. That is so badass. You are a badass closer. Stick with it.
Yeah, like you probably loved that Jey Uso entrance at Backlash, Steve, right?
I loved it so much. Let's keep talking game one. Let's just get right back to it because I obviously loved it. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, like that. I'll try and find it because that was something special.
Is Kenley still California Love?
No, I doubt it.
I know he carried it with him when he went to Atlanta. I just can't remember.
I thought he came out to Welcome to Atlanta in Atlanta.
He did.
Didn't he talk about keeping it?
I'm sure he talked about it. I don't know that Atlanta is the place to do that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think he kept it.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, April 18th, he made the change in 2021. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Correct by Connor Price. What is that song?
No idea.
No.
Sounds like
that's bad. Like he's been the closer for a year and a month now, and we don't even know what song he comes out to.
That's actually really bad. Every fan should know what that song is like a week in.
Yeah. Anyways, no chance they get out of this. 2-0, bases loaded, nobody out. I hate Uwasawa. Pitch clock violation, made it 3-0. I hate this guy. 2-run double, 5-0. Houck's final line, 6+ innings. This is the second time he went 6+, so he came up for the 7th, couldn't record an out. 99 pitches, 63 strikes, 6 hits, 4 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. ERA is up to 2.18. Tyler, what do you got on Tanner Houck?
They did take down one of those earned runs, so it
they
ended
did?
up only being 3 total.
Oh,
They
fuck
made
yeah,
that
dude.
score change.
Back under 2.
Fuck yeah.
Exactly, but in
Fuck
terms
yeah, dude.
play the positivity here.
Tanner Houck's ERA drops from 2.18 to what is it?
199.
199. He's got a sub-2 all over again, and he didn't even have to lift a finger. That's how good Tanner Houck is. He's lowering his ERA without even having to throw a pitch. That's my ace. That's my QB1. Tanner Houck. Raffy ain't here, no bell. 2-run double makes it 5-2 in the 8th. We had no shot. It's Duran. It's not Duran. They were calling him Duran on the broadcast. It's Duran.
Oh, Duran.
We had no shot against Duran. 11 straight wins for the Twins. Twins 5, Red Sox 2. It's an L.
It's tough. One thing I wanted to add real quick from this game, and I know we do shit on Nesson occasionally.
Yeah.
I want to praise them for this mess up. The game on Nesson 360 started with no announcer audio. It was just the ambiance of the park, and it was one of the most peaceful things I've ever heard in my entire life. I would love that option on the streaming version of the Red Sox games. Stats said that they had that with the MLB TV package, but they got rid of it because you could hear what the players were saying too clearly, which is actually kind of funny. That should be like, let me pay more for that. If just, give that option so I can pay more to have that feature each time. That would be incredible. And it's nothing against OB or Will. These guys are voters for the Ketchup. It's just having that option occasionally of no announcers is very peaceful. It was a fun time.
I like the ballpark ambiance.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
You hear the peanut guy. What does the peanut guy sound like, Jared?
Hey, peanuts! Fucking peanuts over here! Fucking nuts! $6!
$6.
Get your fucking nuts!
Can I try to make you like Uwasawa, Jared?
No.
Do you know Dice K visit him in Worcester?
That makes me like him less.
Yeah, that's not a good start.
He went down and tried to give him advice before he came up to Boston
Yeah,
about how to make the transition.
How
Perfect.
close does Daisuke still live in the area?
Is he just hanging out?
Yeah,
around
He
dude.
here?
does media.
Who
Here.
was it? Fucking I forget. When I was looking around at houses, someone tipped me off that he was like buying a house in the area, and I was like, it's got to be a different Daisuke Matsuzaka.
Very
think
common
he-
name.
Yeah, I think he lives around here. Someone was like, yeah, like, keep it on the low. But, I just was showing a house to Daisuke Matsuzaka. I was like, nah.
That's
Nah.
absurd.
Yeah, I think he like lives in fucking Marblehead. I don't know.
Daisuke. Dude, he's at Fenway a decent amount. That's not even, when we're on the field before some of the games, I've seen Daisuke there a good handful of times in the last few years.
Are you
Was
serious?
that like part
I'm
of
serious.
it?
Yeah.
Hold on. Why didn't you ever tell us? Like, yeah, I ran into Daisuke Matsuzaka today. I feel like that's notable. I don't know.
I don't, when would I, hey, Jared, Daisuke's here. Like, what, how
Yeah,
would that have,
yes.
Immediately.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Yep.
guess, but I think they were shooting something with Ohtani when he was with the Angels here.
They
Um,
definitely
I
had
remember.
Daisuke film like a recruitment video for Ohtani and
Oh.
Yamamoto, and it just didn't work, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Right.
apparently Daisuke stayed here after, obviously he went and played with the Mets and did the whole thing there, but he stayed in Boston after he retired for a couple years. So I don't know if he went back. I remember
Dude,
he played.
lives in Marblehead.
Yes, Marblehead. I know he
Mhm.
played in that charity game where he played shortstop with Ichiro, but I think he's primarily lived here in Massachusetts
Yeah,
since he came to the Red Sox.
Marblehead Matsuzaka, we know.
Yeah, come on. Let's get him on the 10.
Yeah,
Get
get him
Daisuke
on
on
here.
here.
Jake, book Daisuke Matsuzaka. I want him on the next episode.
Are you
really do.
anti Daisuke? I love Daisuke.
I'm not anti Daisuke.
I don't love him.
I don't want him teaching other guys how to pitch.
For the Red Sox, it wasn't really ever an issue. Elsewhere is a big
he
issue.
was the nibble king.
Okay.
All he did
what-
was nibble. He like in what was it? 2008. He was 18-3. He averaged
Correct.
5 innings a start. He
If there was a
Okay.
tough watch
we're
stat, he
begging.
would lead it.
We're begging for guys to go 5 innings to start.
yeah, but he was like, I mean,
he was ahead of his
watching
time, I'm
starts,
hearing.
You look at the numbers and you're like, oh man, what a great season. And you go back and watch his starts. It's like, Jesus
I
Christ.
remember.
There, like, what was his whip, Tyler? I know you're looking at it
I was
right
probably
now.
like
I can
5.5.
tell.
1-4. The FIP was horrendous every
1-4.
single year.
That's
Every
cor-
inning, he
that's
would be
career
bases loaded. He'd have to wiggle his way out of bases loaded jams. It'd be second and third. It'd be first and third, and he'd get out of it. Like he had like a sub 3, right?
Yeah, we've talked about him like 5 times this season.
Yeah, we do talk about him a
Like,
lot.
Daisuke
All right,
is-
so
He's
for-
a
for
local
first 2
guy. Let's be
years-
light on
yeah,
him.
for
Let's
a
be
Marblehead guy pitching for the Sox, like he had an 18-3 record.
Remember that was a huge story when they got him. Like
Yeah.
local kid grew up a Red Sox fan down the
Yeah.
street.
Right, but like if you, I remember watching Daisuke pitch. It was not a
Same.
fun time.
It sucked.
So my favorite Daisuke stat, and I've said this probably on the podcast a bunch of times, he struck out 10 batters in his Red Sox debut, his big league debut. 2 starts later, he struck out 10 batters again. He never struck out 10 batters for the rest of his career.
Okay.
Two
Listen.
out of his first 3 big league starts, he struck out 10 guys. Never happened again. So he was just the nibble king. He would
He
go
went-
in there and fill up the bases, pitch his way out of it. Sometimes he wouldn't. But it was not a fun watch. It wasn't a good sit to watch Daisuke.
The whip was even worse, or it was worse with the Red Sox. It was actually better with the Mets. It was a 1-3 with the Mets. So
All right,
that's
you're-
still
again,
what Red Sox
off.
fans saw was real.
Talking about, he led the league in hits per 9 in a good way, his second year. All I hear Jared ever talk about is that 08 team is maybe the best team of Red Sox ever assembled. The clear
It was.
of that staff, Daisuke Matsuzaka, 18-3 with a 2.9 ERA. What was Beckett's ERA that year? I don't want to hear about his fucking.
He was hurt. He was hurt.
But-
hurt.
He led
Coley,
the league in
What?
walks that year.
He was
I
hurt.
know he led the league in
Okay.
hit per 9, but he also led the American League in walks.
Listen,
Yeah.
you do this with fucking every other guy. How many guys were on base, Tyler? Did it matter?
It was
Did
a 1-3.
fucking
It was a
matter?
1-3 whip,
It was a 2.9 ERA.
and the FIP was 403. So he was really like a
these are
4 FIP
make-believe
pitcher.
stats. What happened on the field, Tyler?
Well, what was
2.9 a
Daisuke
game.
actually? Was he a 2.9 pitcher in his
2.9.
career, or was he a 4 ERA
I'm not
pitcher? He
talking
was
about
a
his
4
career.
ERA
I'm talking
pitcher.
about 08. I'm talking
So he
about
got lucky
2008.
one year. Good for Daisuke.
2 years.
Daisuke.
2 years.
Hey,
Hey,
good for Daisuke.
Oh,
One
Hey,
lucky
Daisuke.
year for Daisuke. One.
Oh,
What are you
local
mean?
guy,
What?
Dice K.
Hey, Dice
33 and
K.
15 is first.
Hey, Dice K, Matsuzuku, what are you doing? Hey.
Hey, what are you doing around
Hey,
this time?
come on now. Hey, too many guys on the bases. Bada boom. What are you doing?
I
Huh?
haven't seen you in months. Where you been?
Hey, I'm walking it. The fuck are you, guy? Huh?
No call, no text.
Hey,
Come on.
Fuck's the matter with you? Fuck is the matter for you, huh? Fucking you thinking you are, huh?
33 and 15. 3.72 ERA his first 2 years in Boston. I don't give a fuck about FIP.
The first year was a 4.40 ERA. We're just
All right.
mixing
Say FIP or
numbers.
whip. His whip is a problem. Like,
No,
that
his
was
FIP even in that 290 year was 403
Traffic.
because he was walking the world.
traffic.
And what
central.
was happening? He was getting out of it every single time.
That one year didn't happen any other years though.
No one's talking about any other years.
But
I'm
we're
talking about
talking
his
about what
first
Dice
2
K
years.
is.
He was
Mediocre
electric.
at best.
Hey, local guy. Hey.
Hey. Game 2. Venezuelan Trot Nixon does it again. 1-0 Sox in the first.
10 pitch at bat, Will Abreu.
I'm seeing a lot of people catching on to this Trot Nixon connection now. I'm seeing a lot of people eating it up. A lot of people eating it up. Boozer breaking my balls. Kepler home run, 2-1 Twins in the fourth. Hand up. I'm sure Steve, I'm not going to throw you under the bus here either, but I'll be accountable for this. I was watching Backlash. I had the game on.
Mm-hmm.
I had the game on, but I was watching Backlash. I mean, I was still watching and keeping notes, obviously, but Dom Smith hosed at second base. Need Bob back badly. That was in the seventh.
I just want to emphasize how dumb a play that was. Like, we're talking about the one where he went to second
Wasn't even close.
when he wasn't even at first yet. Like, he was starting. Who's the right fielder? Is it Kepler?
Yeah.
Whoever had the ball. It's like, dude, you haven't even touched first yet, and he already has the ball. What are you doing? That was one of the biggest no. He was out by a mile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Raffy punching out with the bases loaded was the game. Here's where you know that I was paying attention, even though I had Backlash on. Whoever the fuck was pitching, he threw a slider on a 3-1 count. I said slider on 3-1 is nuts to make it 3-2, and then he went back to it for the strikeout. So Raffy punched out with the bases loaded, but 3-1 slider and then 3-2 slider. Like that was one of those situations where you're like, what the fuck do you want me to do? You know?
Raffy slams the bat and the helmet. I think he's upset, obviously, he didn't get a hit, but he's also like, dude, you just threw me 2 sliders to get me out in this situation. Like, what the hell was that?
And he was pissed at Lance Barksdale because in the 5th inning, he had that whole situation where he left Hamilton on third as well. I've never seen a player turn around and stare at an umpire for that long. Like, they were just looking at each other. Devers wasn't even saying anything after a couple words. And he sat just direct eye contact and then called time.
Probably as upset as you're going to see Raffy over the course of a whole game. He was pissed off. He had a tough one, too. 0 for 4, out in some big spots. Not Raffy's finest, but he's been mainly very good the last 2 weeks.
The way Ump's act today, I'm surprised he didn't get tossed.
This game was a complete waste of time. Twins 3, Red Sox 1.
Boring.
Yeah.
Very boring.
This series was so boring. All they talked about in game 3, which is not skipping ahead, we're finally here. All they talked about, and they talked about a little game too, is the fucking Polaroid selfie that Duran took at the end of the flight. That's all
It's
they talked
hilarious.
about.
Duran.
I liked it, but it's not original.
That's what Cora did, essentially, in
Kinda,
18.
Yeah. They didn't physically take the shots. I think those were probably
No.
like Billy's shots, right? Yeah. They,
Probably.
Yeah, that was Bill. That was Bill.
Yeah, shout out Bill. First line here, the series finale against Minnesota Twins, which is today. Bases loaded with nobody out. We are so fucked. This was in the second. Just kidding. Coop Kriz got me. Single, strikeout, 1-3 put out. Dude got out of it. Cooper Criswell deserves so much credit for being a punching bag when he didn't deserve to be. Like, not necessarily from us, but I feel like he was kind of the butt end of the joke in the offseason when he got paid $1 million to play for the Red Sox. And that was the big pitching addition on the free agent market. And everyone's coming at him for being the guy. And it's like, well, he actually is really fucking good. And he has been a godsend for the Red Sox where they've lost 4/5 of their intended rotation. So shout out to Cooper Criswell. Home run Ryan Jeffers. We're definitely going to get swept. That was 1-0 Minnesota in the third. Rob Refsnyder might be better than JD Drew. That made it a 1-1 game in the fourth on the RBI double. I said might be. And there are a lot of Red Sox fans still, for whatever reason, that aren't big JD Drew guys. I say that as someone who loves JD Drew. So that's one of the highest compliments that you can get from me is to be compared to JD Drew.
I think Pat buried him though a couple months ago when he was just talking about like how he didn't care and like how that angered Pap all the time. And now like
Pat
I feel like
buries
a lot of Red
people.
Sox
Yeah,
fans
Pap's
were
got
like,
shit to say.
He does. He says a lot of shit.
Pap, like there's a lot of things that Pap doesn't have, but what he does have is takes. He got him.
He got him.
Ask him. If you want an opinion, you want to take, you go to Pap.
A lot of the former guys don't go there. He goes there.
Yeah, he doesn't give a
Pap
shit.
goes there. Yeah,
and he'll say it about guys that are on the team right now. Like you feel like the Nesson pre and post, they're not gonna absolutely eviscerate. I mean, Eck and Steve Lyons, I feel like would like what the X rant on Wade Miley was unbelievable, and Drew Pomeranz. I believe it was Drew. You just got your lunch. That was about Wade Miley. Get out of here. That was Wade Miley. I think he also went off on Drew Pomeranz. There was a game, I believe, in Oakland where he didn't want to give the ball up.
He complained to Farrell in the dugout, and he's like, "What are you doing? What did X
John
say?"
Farrell basically told him to go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those guys, like the old school guys. But as far as like the newer guys, like what we're bringing in the new blood from the 07 team and the 13 team. Yeah, like those guys are not at a point yet where they're going to absolutely eviscerate someone that's on the team right now. But Pap, boy, Pap, he's got something to say.
Nobody
He
loves to
has got
slander
something.
Verdugo more. I love it.
Then Pap?
Yes.
It's not slander.
Railed
It's
him this
true.
offseason.
That was just Pap, though. That was Pap.
True.
Yeah. Reese tried to steal third base. He might be safe, but he's still an idiot. That happened in the fifth inning. What do you think happened there? That had to have been a missign, or he just went on his own.
I think he went.
He
There's
went.
no way.
He
Why
just
would they
went?
even be giving him any kind of sign there? It's
No.
like, all right, we
Well-
all know you don't steal.
I'm saying like it
Like-
could have been like a missign. Like Coley.
There's one out already. The next two guys up were Rafaela and Short. I think that was called. I think it was called to steal third because
No
the only
way.
way you're going to score is a sac fly. That's the only way. And by Rafaela, Zach Short has never hit a baseball in his life.
Cora said after the game, he was like, I have no idea what he was doing. He gave me a heart attack, but he was safe, so there's nothing I can say. He was like, he got in there, and it was a nice slide to do it. I don't know. It reminded me of the Tristan Casas thing. It just somehow worked.
Definitely
And I guess
does.
you could have said the Casas thing would have worked if he didn't come off the bag. It was a similar situation. You got lucky. You'll take it. But that would have easily been another dumb moment for this team.
I don't think Cora, when Casas was out, Cora just kept staring at him the entire
Reese
time.
would have got
Yeah.
that treatment.
But no, he didn't. He literally went back to review it. Like he didn't stare at him at all. He was like, "Let's see what happened. Let's see if we can challenge this." Casas
He was
could have
saving his
been-
stare. He was like, I
Yeah.
will stare at you if you're out.
It looked
Casas,
for a second. Cora was like, and then he like turned around. They're like, he was like, challenge, and then he went and challenged. There was no reason to ever do that. That was the wrong moment. But they're trying to be aggressive. Just this team tends to do those things that work this time. Just be thankful.
Reese already had the biggest dumb of the series. He was trying to top it in the finale, but
Had a couple dumbs. Dumbs. And I think you can still be safe and it can still be counted as a dumb.
Easily.
for sure.
yeah, actually, that's a good point. I was going to ask. That's still
That's
it
still a
doesn't
dumb.
like revoke the dumb if he's safe.
Still, yeah. Like it's still a dumb. You got away with it, but it was a dumb.
Someone
Definitely.
someone at the ball game had sent me a DM, and they were like, "You have no clue. There was nobody even near the third base bag, so that's why Reese took off. Like it looked like a pretty heads up play in real
I
time."
mean, the throw beat him by a mile.
yeah, Cora
Yeah, he was
Cora
out.
didn't care. He made it clear after
for
the game.
sure out.
Yeah.
Well, that's a classic. Like, all right, it worked, but let's not make a
don't
you
ever
know
fucking do that
a
again.
habit of Reese stealing third. Let's
Nah.
not do that.
Nah. Bless you, Sadan. First home run for the Red Sox in 6 games. Made it 3-1 in the 5th. I'm just
220
happy
at-bats.
he's alive, dude. After that
Mhm.
play with the knees to the ribs the other day. Ref Snyder out of the game. Season's cooked. That happened in the bottom of the 5th.
One thing, real quick, Jerry.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
funny thing happened there. With Reese stealing third, I believe it blocked Angel Hernandez's view, so he wasn't able to see that pitch was a strike. He calls it a ball. That's why Joe Ryan was upset, because he thought it was an 0-2 count when he had the strike on the next pitch. It ends up being a 1-2 count.
Yeah.
Now he's pissed. Then there's a ball that's off the plate by half a foot that he was complaining about. Like, please, that wasn't even close. Credit to Rafaela, keeps battling, gets his pitch, hits a homer. So weirdly enough, I think the steal allowed Rafaela to see extra pitches, which he then hits a home run off.
It's a good point. It's a good point, kid.
Angel Hernandez, not a bad game.
Yeah, he didn't stand out.
No.
No, he stood out
Surprising.
in game 1 where he made that horrible out call at second. Again, the call was correct, but he just stood there and he just went, that's not a call. That's not a call at all.
He does the old school thing. You don't see umps just do the throw the arms straight in the air thing anymore. He's like, I'm still doing it. I don't care.
They punch towards the play.
Yeah.
They'll shadow box you out of there. Yeah, they'll be like, yeah.
He's just,
Cooper Criswell getting fired up in the dugout made me feel something. Who was that? Bernardino that came in to clean up his mess? Yeah.
Bernie.
Bernardino's been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He's been awesome.
For Criswell, do you guys, I saw this conversation happening on Twitter. Would you consider keeping Criswell in the rotation and telling Whitlock to go to the bullpen?
Yes.
No.
Steve?
That's a thing. I'm doing the thinker face because I don't know what the right answer is there.
I would say you got to put Whitlock back in the rotation based on how he looked to start the year. Josh Winkowski actually had a comment recently saying out of anyone he's watched, Whitlock's the one he thinks has transformed the most under Andrew Bailey. And for what Whitlock did those 4 starts, it's oblique, it's not elbow, so I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, he can't handle the starter workload, whatever. And he's throwing a bullpen now. He's on his way back. I'm not that far yet, but it is a conversation that's been going on.
It's not a crazy question. Not a crazy question at all.
Got hurt immediately, Tyler.
4 starts, and it was oblique.
4 starts is not a lot, Tyler.
No, but if it was his elbow flaring up, I'd be like, all right, that's a workload concern. Like oblique,
what does it matter?
He strained
what
his
it
pec
is?
when he was in the bullpen.
Hurt. Yeah, he just.
So you don't think he gets hurt in the bullpen?
He's less likely to, I would feel.
I've already seen him get hurt in the bullpen. I've seen the same thing happen already.
See him get hurt everywhere.
It feels
equal hurt opportunities.
It feels too early to run away from that with how good he looked to start the season. And with Criswell, as much as I like what I've seen, you will never consider him going more than 5 innings. You're kind of working back and forth. You're nervous watching him. It's 5 and dive. Whitlock has that potential to be more than, a number 5 starter. I think we've all seen that.
Credit
if not,
to these
you can
guys
go back to
that are opening these games, though. The conversation in basically any other situation would be when the hell are Pivetta and Bayo back and Whitlock. And it's just not really happening. That combo's not really happening. Like, these guys have bridged the gap extremely effectively, especially Big Coop.
What's the update on Bayo, T-Dog?
So he'll have a rehab start on Tuesday, and the hope is that he'll only need 1 rehab start, and he'll be up next Sunday or the following Monday.
When are we getting Pivetta back?
Wednesday against the Braves.
We are?
Is that the Sale game?
Yep, he'll go right up against Criswell. Cutter's going to start the first game.
Yeah. It's Cutter and Ronaldo Lopez, and then Houck is going to get Friday?
That sounds right, and if you notice how they use Josh Winkowski today, I think that factored into why he's going back to the bullpen. They can start to simplify this entire plan. And then Garrett Whitlock, like I had mentioned, looks to be a ways away. He threw the bullpen. He's going to need at least a rehab start, couple live BPs before then. I feel like I'd be surprised to see him before the end of May.
Okay. Cooper Criswell, 4 1/3, 80 pitches, 51 strikes, 5 hits, 1 earned. He walked a guy, punched out 5, gave up the home run. His ERA is 1.74, and that's the guy that Tyler wants to kick out of the rotation.
Call it,
please.
I don't want to hear about a World Series champion nibbling and then be like Cooper Criswell is the best pitcher of all time. I can't have that.
Nibbler.
He doesn't nibble.
He had the bases loaded with 1 out in this game.
Goalie.
He's not attacking people.
Goalie.
He's not attacking people. It's 1,000%.
You got him nibbling?
He doesn't walk guys. I think it's pitchability more than anything.
He did walk the bases. He walked the bases loaded today.
You got to attack to get out of that, and he did.
He had one walk today.
I'm saying he walked the bases loaded. It was a bases loaded situation because he walked the bases
But
loaded.
it's a 1.7 walk per 9.
106.
His whip for his career is 1.4. So what is it?
When I hear walk the bases
'cause it
loaded, I
hits.
feel like that means they were all walks, right?
Sure,
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that necessarily.
Yeah.
Jared, it's a 40.5 hit per 9 that first year. That's what makes it look so crazy.
Okay.
But I think that's what Criswell, like, he's not going to walk guys. That's typically his strength.
Wait, didn't he not walk the base? Am I crazy? Wasn't it 3 singles?
It was 3
No.
singles.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Wasn't it?
Was.
It was a 3-1, and he walked the guy.
It was 3 singles.
When did the walk happen?
I don't know, but it wasn't that inning.
We agree
Give
there
me
was a
1
walk.
second.
The books
There
have
was-
a walk. I
The
thought it
book
was
has
that
a
inning.
walk. The book
Did he
has
have
a
a first
walk.
and second in this game
Bottom
as well?
of the 4th, he started it off by walking Correa.
Yeah, the
That's
bases
what it was.
loaded was
You
3
walked
straight
Correa.
singles.
My apologies. Much better.
Hey,
all good.
Giving up
all
hits.
good.
Accountability.
All good.
Accountability. I don't
I
have
would
an
much
issue with it.
rather go. Like, he's a swing guy, like we've talked about.
That's it. He should be, like, I like keeping him in AAA. If you want to switch
Yeah.
him out with Uwasawa, it's a conversation, I guess.
That
But
guy
he should be
blows.
stretched out at any
That
time.
guy blows.
Right. I wouldn't
In-
even. I agree. I wouldn't even option him to the bullpen. I would just send him back down and keep starting.
You're
That
going to need
guy
him at some point.
blows.
Real quick on the pitch clock violation. He didn't
Blows.
just like barely have a pitch clock violation. That was by like 4 or 5
Oh,
seconds. That
my
wasn't
God.
even.
He literally raised his hand and said, "Give me a ball right here."
To defend
was-
Uwasawa, he's in a tough spot, man.
Don't.
For a guy coming
Why?
over from Japan, he's adjusting to the big leagues, and he's throwing a
been
pitch he's
here.
never thrown. Yes, he came over this year. He was with the Rays.
He came over, the Rays DFA'd a guy that they just got.
Yeah,
They
he was
traded
like
him, yeah.
very low, like ranked over there. Like he's a fine starting pitcher, an average
He's
guy
a
in
fine
Japan.
young man.
He's a
Uwasawa.
fine man. No, it is a tough spot, but it was just like have an
Bad.
awareness of what the pitch clock is at.
They also have him throwing a splitter, which he just hasn't thrown throughout his career. That is now his primary pitch and the only thing they actually trust him to throw because they know his fastball is absolute garbage.
86 miles an hour.
It's not exciting anyone.
Yeah, this dude couldn't pitch in like a high school tournament in Texas.
I
feel
will
like he would
add
probably
for
dominate that.
Mm-mm.
he was like a 3.5 guy in Japan. But for Criswell,
Blows.
kind of talked with I think it was Christopher Smith, the Mass Live, and he was like, everyone who went to the Rays, it worked for them. They became this great arm. It didn't work for me. Coming here, credit to Andrew Bailey and everything they've done. They've gotten me to where I need to be. My velo is slightly ticked up. They got me using the weighted balls, Kyle Bodie, drive line. That's all that. They changed the grip on his cutter. He's throwing his changeup more. He says, in all reality, the Red Sox pitching lab is very similar to the Rays. It's just more breaking stuff. That's the greatest compliment I think you could give to the Red Sox and what they're doing right now. If a pitcher like him can say, hey, they're right on par with what the Rays are doing, that's going to make other guys want to come here because there's a chance they'll figure you out even if the Rays can't figure you out.
I've already talked to guys who have been like, I'm kind of interested to see what's going on in that kitchen.
Yeah. that-
Giolito,
Other
Might
teams
put-
are like, it's working.
yeah,
What-
dude, you
what
get
are they
Giolito here
cooking?
next year?
What are they cooking under there?
You guys got in that kitchen, huh?
Yeah, what do you guys got? What's in that? Salt and pepper, baby.
What do you like seeing in the kitchen, Jared? What gets you going?
Good set of flowers, first and foremost. You know, you got to walk in that kitchen and be like, is there love in here? You know,
You have love in your kitchen with the pictures up on the wall.
pictures up on the wall,
Mhm.
flowers on the table. Got a new whiteboard, dry erase board thing with like all like the, you know, dates
You
and
got some-
stuff. All the
Some
events.
Reese's close by.
Got a lot of
Interesting.
Reese's.
Mm-hmm.
I've been dieting in solidarity with T-Dog.
Proud of you.
Yep, went from red meat to just chicken. I mean, I cut out the candy, cut out the soda. So that's in solidarity with T-Dog.
Did you feel like you were like getting fat? Is that what led to it, or are you just trying to cut?
My titties were tittying a little bit.
My titty sometimes too.
Yeah.
Especially in the
that-
finale.
Yep. We'll get
Fifth
there.
triple for Jaron Duran.
We'll get there.
The fuck, dude.
You were talking about how fat Jared is.
Yeah.
This guy
Sorry,
wants to
Toby.
speed ahead.
Vaughn Grissom, first Red Sox hit, bases loaded, 2-run double, looked like a grand slam to me. I'll count it. 5-1 Sox in the eighth.
Yeah, that pimp job counts. I know sometimes it's like, hey, dude, it wasn't a home run. That looked really smooth. That counts.
Yeah. Shout out to the Sun. 2-run double, 7-1 in the 8th. Dom Smith. Bob probably would have homered. Because he did today.
He did.
What do you make of that face for? He did Bob homer today? Yep.
Yeah,
Did Dom
it's
Smith?
Worcester.
No.
It's not the big leagues.
And baseball's a baseball. A
I just
baseball
wanna
is
ask,
a baseball is a baseball.
Can someone tell me how many homers Bobby Doublick has this year in the big leagues?
The next line here says nips for trips. Duran, 5 triples. That happened in the 9th inning, which put him on base for Rafael Devers to hit a 2-run home run to make it 9-1 Sox, and that's your final 9-2. 9-2. 19-16 Boston Red Sox. Wow. Tyler?
I think we're getting a Jarren Duran hot streak here. Last 7 games, 308, 419, 577, almost an 1,000 OPS. So the typical Jarren Duran, roller coaster ride, super hot, gets cold.
Yeah.
We're about to get another hot streak.
Yeah. Well, if you want to go see Jarren Duran, Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets the first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. When we flew to Atlanta, Jake, and we didn't have tickets provided for us, I pulled out the Game Time app, and I was like, hey, we're here. We might as well go to the game, right? Punched in the promo code Section 10. Woo! $20 off your first purchase. And we were sitting 5 rows from the field for Braves Phillies in the postseason last October. Priority, last minute deals, save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. They've got flash deals, save even more with the exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of game or event. Save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats. Toggling this feature shows the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view, which is what we did when we were in Atlanta, from your seat in the app before you buy, so you can see exactly what your view from all angles is going to look like. The lowest price guarantee. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code Section 10 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code Section 10 SECTION 10 for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Shout out to Game Time. Thank you for coming on back, Game Time. We appreciate the good folks at Game Time for their loyalty to us. Show your loyalty to them by getting out there and seeing the Sox, downloading the Game Time app.
Jerry, we talked about him a little bit, but your thoughts on the first series for Vaughn Grissom with the Red Sox?
I like his vibes. He's very polite, very nice kid, and I think he's gelled, or he's going, I mean, it's hard to say after one series, but I think he's gelling with this group. I think he's I don't want to call him the missing piece or the missing link, but he's certainly a piece that we've been missing, and I'm happy to see him here because it feels like we're never going to see the intended team for 2024 just because Lucas Giolito is not going to throw a pitch. But as far as after the Giolito injury, like once we start getting back some of these pitching pieces like Bayo, like Pivetta, like Whitlock, and Casas being the biggest one, it's just going to be nice to like look up at the Red Sox infield and see what it was supposed to be. You're obviously not going to get that with Trevor Story, but Rafaela has been great defensively there.
I don't want to overrate that hit, but it matters a lot. Like, it was very important in the series finale. If he doesn't get it, he goes 0 for 8 in his first series with the Sox. Now heading back to Atlanta to go back to where he used to play. It's like, all right, this could end up being a tough start for him with the new club. But no, he seemed like he fit in well. Like, I really, you don't notice him too much. The throw, like we mentioned earlier, it's interesting to say the least. I think he'll get more experience doing that. But yeah, bat flip, the, big double. I think he's going to fit in just fine.
Yeah. I'll add post game. He said he lost 10 plus pounds when he had the flu. So like clearly not himself. He's like, if I was fully, myself and not coming off of sickness, that ball is getting out of the ballpark. So I like the confidence. I like to hear that. And I thought even though he didn't have a hit before that, he was hitting the ball well. It was at a lot of people. So the quality of contact for a team in the Red Sox, they lead all of baseball in strikeouts right now. That's kind of the bat they're looking for that hopefully gives them a little more consistency because he's going to put the bat on the ball. It's going to be a high batting average. They don't really have many guys with that profile.
He didn't strike out in the series.
He is a big opposite field guy too. Like when he was acquired, he talked about learning to love the monster. So I kind of love that Minnesota has their, I have no idea how tall it is, but their version of the monster in right field. And he was immediately like, yeah, I'm just going to knock this right over there real quick. Comfortably our largest, like height-wise second baseman I've ever remembered, like by a lot.
When the camera like goes over the ground ball at second, I'm like, oh, that's a tall fella. Like it's normally a short guy, and it's not now.
Yeah, I mean, Pedroia, obviously, the guy we've seen play second the most, very tiny. But even like Valdez, not a large fella. So it's weird seeing him. He definitely has the build of a shortstop.
Bob? That's probably the closest, like height-wise, right? When he's gotten his little...
second baseman.
He's got cameos there.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, no. Come on.
Tony Graffinino, Mark Loretta, Mark Bellhorn.
Yeah, not the tallest group. Todd Walker.
How tall's Big Grish?
It's got to be like 6'2".
Oh my God, I'm at.
They compare him to Xander body type-wise every single chance they get on the broadcast.
I definitely see it.
Very similar. He's 6'3".
6'3".
Oh, wow. B-refs. Inch down. Don't believe it.
What is he, 6'3", 210?
Sounds like he's 200 at the moment.
That's me.
Hey, Steve's playing second base for the Red Sox.
Yeah, I'm the second baseman. There we go.
Who has it at 6'3", Steve?
Google.
Oh.
They're a known source for baseball players' heights.
Big height.
Yeah. They start the year, they just go into the dugouts and they ask the heights and then they just hand them over. That's why it was hard to get Grissom. He wasn't there.
All right. Is there anything news and notes before we hit the Stop and Shop look ahead?
Yeah, that asshole David Hamilton came in and immediately didn't turn a double play again. I can't fucking stand it. I can't stand it at all.
He can't do it.
He just can't do it.
He just can't do it. It'd be great if he told me, I can't do it, Skip. I can't. You want me to do it? I can't do it.
Can't do it. We're getting one here at best.
He just looks over the dugout. We got one. I don't know. I can't get two.
I got a question for Tyler. If the Red Sox lost today, I know you would never admit it, but how much in your mind would you be thinking we messed with the vibes of this team by sending down Bob?
I would be thinking about it a little bit. And you know why? This is actually the one thing I had in my notes. And I didn't like it from Rafaela Devers after the second game. The reporters came, they spoke with him, whatever. You know, he talked about how they just need to be better offensively, especially him. While talking to a few of the reporters after the session, he goes, hey, we've had a lot of, roster change the last couple of days. And they mentioned, Emmanuel Valdez and Pablo Reyes and Bobby Dalbec, some of the Vibe guys. There were people jumping on my timeline when I posted it like, man, the Vibes aren't the same without Bob. You need him here. You need Pablo here. Valdez was talking about it in AAA. He's like, Pablo Reyes, the vibes this friggin' guy brings. I'm praying he goes through waivers and stays in the organization.
Valdez.
I'm sorry. That's a bullshit excuse, but I'll hear it.
I thought Valdez was going to break into tears when he was talking about Pablo. Like, he couldn't believe it. Could not believe it.
They were all missing Bob. Well, listen, these are young guys, and, they've been around, all of them, for multiple years now, so maybe there is a bit of a connection there. But I'm sorry. If you're going to complain about the roster and what it looked like in spring training, be thankful they got you actual big league players to help the team. Just be better.
Thank you for admitting that. That was big of you.
Huge.
But they did win.
Bobby Dalbec. Bobby Dalbec.
Bob homered.
In AAA.
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm.
Do you think Zach Short's better than Bobby Dalbec?
If I'm being honest with you, No, I
Okay.
really don't. I don't think Zach Short is better than Bobby Dolbeck. If I'm mentioning the vibes Bob brings, the only thing Short can do is play shortstop, but then they play David Hamilton at
Right.
shortstop today. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, there's no excuse for this anymore. If Zach Short's not playing shortstop, he doesn't need to be on the roster.
No.
See, I love Bob and Worcester for different reasons because we're putting a super team together in Worcester.
Mhm.
Like, I do like having that to fall back on where you see the highlights of, like, this might be the greatest AAA team of all time.
We're trying to win it in the Woo.
Mm. What's the trophy there? What can you win there?
They
The,
demote Devers tomorrow.
Yeah.
They said
Everyone just reacts
we get
live.
Devers some at-bats in Worcester. Dude, we got a hell of a run going on. We got to bring Raffy onto this team.
Jose Abreu treatment.
Bayo never comes back. He's just he's just with the Woo.
20 starts down there this year.
That was a real thing that the Pawtucket Red Sox were on Manny's list of teams that he would accept a trade to.
I get it.
He was like, I'll accept a trade to like the Astros, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Paw Sox. He's like, just get me out of Boston, please. Like
Yeah,
he was
they're-
on
they're-
a rehab assignment and he just like didn't want to get called back up.
Oh,
He was like,
he
"No, I'm
loved
good
it.
down here, dude. This is sick." Just down there playing ball.
They got a Dave and Buster's in Providence. One of the best Dave and Buster's I've ever been
It's
to.
in the mall.
Hmm.
Top of them all, right?
Providence Mall. Man.
They're just trying to get to Vegas, dude. That's where the AAA national title is, September 28th.
Oh. Yeah. We got
We'll
Get
be
to
there.
Vegas.
We gotta
gotta
get
be
there.
there.
Yeah.
Can we go? If the Woo Sox make it to Vegas, we gotta go.
Oh, you're
We'll be
signing yourself up for something you're going to forget about.
Wait, but listen, the truth is, if everything goes right, Meyer, Anthony, and Teal should be there. You're telling me that's not an electric team to try to compete and win a AAA championship?
Tell me that team can't get to Vegas? Like, come on.
I've heard worse.
That team's going to Vegas.
They also, all three shouldn't, by the way. They definitely shouldn't. That would be bad if they're all in AAA.
If they keep them back just because they're trying to get to Vegas.
That would be funny. Like, that would genuinely be funny. But no, not all three of them should be there.
They're being patient.
The Stop and Shop look ahead. Brought to you by Stop and Shop. Head on down to Stop and Shop right now. Use the promo code section10, and that'll get you 10 cents off each tangerine when you buy at least 5 pounds of tangerines only at Stop and Shop using the promo code section10, the verbal promo code section10. It is a 2-game series. Enjoy your off day today if you're listening to this on Monday. The Red Sox versus the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta. Cutter Crawford versus Ronaldo Lopez. Ooh, it's Ronaldo Lopez. He's pretty good, right? I don't know. Cutter Crawford might be better. We're going to find out on Tuesday, May 7th. And then in the finale, you're getting the return of Nick Pivetta versus Chris Sale. What? Oh my God, he's on another team. Thought he was on the Red Sox, didn't you?
Cora's emotional about it. Very
Yes.
emotional.
What do you say?
He went on this whole like rant yesterday. Like anyone who ever made fun of Chris Sale and ever spoke a bad word about the bike incident or anything, like fuck you, that's bullshit. Like snap talking to the reporters, and I was like, damn, all right, AC. And listen, I was a big Chris Sale defender, so I typically lean in that camp as well. But he was like, nobody did more behind the scenes. No one worked harder. And you people that think it's a joke, you don't know what he went through. And we all knew he was going to be as good as he's been this year. So, yeah, it's going to be a little awkward to see him again. But he's still helping the guys on this roster. He's still calling Tanner Houck. He's still calling Cutter Crawford.
Yeah, that was wild.
So it's going to be emotional for Cora.
I don't think anyone ever questioned if he was a good dude, right?
No.
So
No.
I will
think
say
people,
on the sports radio side, they did, which was
people
stupid.
questioned the legitimacy of the bike incident, I think. But that's about it.
I mean, I made fun of him for being frail, but it's like, that's part of being a fan. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we want this guy to pitch. It wasn't my preference that he was hurt every 6 minutes. It was my preference when he was on the mound, striking everyone out. Him constantly laboring and coming back and rehabbing from just like none of the injuries felt like his fault. He had the fucking comebacker against the Rays that just shattered his hand. Like that's baseball. It sucked.
Wasn't that the Yankees?
It was the Yankees. But
Yeah, we
whatever,
got that
yeah.
one start against the Rays.
That's right. Yeah, my apologies. It was the Yankees, but he did get
The
the
Rays
start
was
against the Rays.
story, but yeah.
It's a 1-year anniversary, actually, from Chris Sale in Philly last year when he hit 99 and he was like going absolutely berserk in that game.
I remember that.
Yeah, he
Remember when he went berserk on that, what was it in the tunnel there?
It was a TV.
TV.
He
Yeah.
ripped the TV
Worcester.
off the wall.
Also, the 1-year anniversary of that fan falling into the bullpen.
Yeah, that was
Oh, that
illegal
was
seafood.
wild.
Shout out to Lobster.
That was wild. I forgot about that. Where do you put
Ocean Spider.
Sale, like in the pantheon of Red Sox pitchers you've watched? Everyone.
2.
2.
Wait, what?
Like his
A power
like his-
rankings?
Not power
his
rankings.
2017 season is enough for me, and like the way that he finished 18. Like it's Pedro 1, and then I guess like maybe that's not giving Beckett
should be
enough
up there.
credit.
Yeah,
Beckett's
Beckett.
up
I was
there.
thinking Beckett too.
Beckett, but like
Lester.
was Sale's 17 season better than Beckett's 07 season? I think it
By
might.
far. Not even like comparable how much better it was. And I love Josh Beckett, finished second in Cy Young voting that year. But we're talking 290
Playoffs matter
ERA.
there.
And that's the conversation. Josh Beckett, that 2007 playoff run, Chris Sale was never healthy enough to dominate an entire playoff run like
It was
that.
7
That's what's lacking.
Was it 16 or 7? It had to have been 17 when Sale was so far ahead in Cy Young voting. They took everyone else
You
off
couldn't
the
bet
board.
yeah, you couldn't bet the field.
And then Corey Kluber won.
Yeah.
Just 2017 and 18, like, that's not even comparable for Beckett. Obviously, different eras, different offenses, whatever it may be. But we're talking about a guy who had it was 370 innings, 59 starts of a 256 ERA and 225 FIP. Beckett never reached that ceiling.
I mean, Schilling in 04 was good, but he wasn't.
No,
Sale
that was
Beckett
again the playoff run.
good. Well, I mean, he's won 20 games that year.
No, for sure, but that's not what he's remembered for.
No.
I just love that Porcello got that Cy Young. That pisses so many people off.
Lester.
Yeah, Lester. Yeah.
Lester.
You're not even mentioning Lester.
Lester.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lester.
Mhm.
Who else had a day, though? Sale Day?
Yeah, there
Well,
was no
D'Lo
such thing
Day.
as Lester Day.
Or
We had
Perez
that.
Day?
Buchholz Day.
Perez said a day.
Felix Dubront Day.
Oh, Dubrante was a big deal.
Oh,
Double D's. Yeah,
big
that was huge.
big Doobie.
I
Doobie.
mean,
Everyone in the crowd when he would fucking strike guys out.
Doobie Day.
Doobie.
Doobie Day.
Yeah.
We talk about the Marblehead Marvel a lot, but when Daisuke first came up, he had a fucking day. Like it was, people were
Oh,
tuned in
He
for Daisuke.
he had a week or something.
That's wrong.
If we're talking about which starter sold the most merch,
Oh, yeah.
Daisuke wins in a landslide.
It might be Rich Garza's. It might be Garza's.
That's a battle. Even today, if you're at Fenway, count how many Matsuzakas versus Garces jerseys you see, or just the jerseys.
Yes, the jersey.
It is a battle. If you're from out of town, you'd be like, these guys are both on the team now, right? Oh no, it's been a long, long time.
Garza's is so like those t-shirts have held up so well. Because when was the most recent Rich Garza shirt sold? Like 98?
Look, credit to Majestic. Wasn't it
Had
Majestic
to have
making
been.
those shirts?
Had to have been.
They're still holding up. These have been around for 25
They
years.
still make them?
They still make fresh, rich Garza
They
shirts?
might make El
No.
Guapo ones because of how popular that shirt is. I feel like I do remember seeing them like well after he was on the team. I think you have to be in the physical store to buy them, though.
Does the Jersey Street store have El Guapo shirts?
They must.
I
They
don't
trying
know
to
if
make money or not.
if they were there, they would still sell. I guarantee it.
The thing I love is the El Guapo thing was like around our time, growing up as kids being Sox fans, and it just never faded off. Like it's just still a thing. So younger fans now have to be like, I have no idea what that means. They probably think it's a Poppy nickname or something because it's number 34.
Yeah,
so they're like,
absolutely. they
he was El
must think-
Guapo as well?
They
I'll
must
be the first
think-
person to tell you, for my age group, I had no knowledge of him until I started working at the Sports Hub, and you guys, like it was like both, but I only knew the jokes. Like I had never knew anything about the actual player.
El Guapo.
Before my time.
Yeah, legend.
Birthday's next week.
El Guapos.
We must
Happy
celebrate.
birthday, El Guapo. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's celebrate that next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
What day?
It is the 18th.
Well,
That's not next week.
Oh,
No,
13
next
days.
week, yeah.
Just under 2.
It's next week. It's 2 weeks from now.
That is so specifically not next week.
It's on your calendar.
Next week, it's mid-June.
So next week when we celebrate this 2 weeks from now, you got to remember it is El Guapo Day.
I was thinking of my birthday, which is next week.
He
and then it's
debuted when he was
El Guapo's
19.
It's crazy.
He was one of the best to do it.
No doubt.
Cutter Crawford 2-1 with a 156 ERA, a 107 WHIP, and an 8.9 strikeouts per nine. His last time out was against the Giants. He pitched into and completed the 7th inning. That was the first time in his career that he's ever done that. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 1 home run. First home run allowed this season, by the way. His last 3 starts, he has allowed 10, 10, and 7 base runners. Despite this, he has a 184 ERA, 294 FIP, and a 694 OPS against. His fastballs are still disgusting. 98th percentile in run value. Cutter 8 for 45. 4-seam 8 for 41. Red Sox are 3-4 when he starts, thanks in large part to a run support of 386. Very bad. Ronaldo Lopez 2-1, a 150 ERA, a 1 WHIP, and a 9.3 strikeouts per nine. He's been very good this year. He's being used full-time as a starter for the first time since 2021. Across his 5 starts this year, he has completed 6 innings 3 times, 7 innings once, and 5 innings once. He has only allowed more than 1 run in 1 start, and it was his last time out. He allowed 3. He's been so good this season that allowing 3 earned runs and 5 innings pitched made his ERA more than double from 0.72 to where it is now at 150. He's a 3-pitch pitcher. They're all very good pitches. 4-seam, 57% usage, 228 batting average against. Slider, 30% usage, 132 batting average against. Curveball, 11% usage. No one has gotten a hit on that. 46% whiff rate. Under no circumstances let him get ahead with the fastball, because then the breaking pitches, he's going to put you away with that shit. Righties have been incapable of hitting him this season. Right-handers 192 with a 208 on base, a 496 OPS. Lefties 189, a 307 on base, 608 OPS. He's only allowed 2 home runs this year, and they've both been to lefties. The Braves are 4-1 when he starts. Chris Sale. He is 4-1 with a 3.44 ERA and an 0.95 WHIP. He's off to a very solid start. He's only allowed more than 2 earned runs twice in 6 starts. He's completed 7 innings in 3 starts, has at least 6 strikeouts in every start, and has 7+ in 4 of his starts. A bit of a home run problem, as we know him to have. He's given up 4. The FIP on his season is 301. The velocity very much is big time back. He's averaging about 95 miles per hour on his fastball, his highest since 2018. 22 doesn't count because he threw like 100 pitches. He has maintained it. There's no dip in any of his 6 starts. The slider, a weapon, 159 batting average against, 188 slug, 35% whiff rate, 99th breaking run value, 96th percentile for average exit velocity, 96th percentile for chase rate, 86th for walk rate, 82nd for strikeout rate. The Braves are 4-2 when he starts, and they have won 3 straight. So again, that is Cutter Crawford versus Ronaldo Lopez, and that is the return of Nick Pivetta versus Chris Sale. Prediction time. Steven?
I got a split. Because I feel like that happens
Benny's?
a lot. Yeah,
Benny's?
I got a Benny's banana split. I have a background canvas that I've been waiting to debut, but it needs to be a split for me to be able to do that. The last time the Red Sox swept a 2-gamer in Atlanta was not that long ago. It was just 3 years ago. You guys probably remember the Christian Arroyo Grand Slam where he did the Euro step. That was a pretty wild game, too.
Helicopter flipped.
Yeah, Verdugo had a big home run the game before. Vaughn Grissom immediately against his old team will be cool to see. I am calling a home run for him in this series. Excited for the Chris Sale. That's going to be weird. There's going to be some weird feelings facing Chris Sale on Wednesday night as a Sox fan, which we all are. And I think it's going to be a split, and we'll see what happens. But it does kind of feel like that might be the case. The Red Sox are 7-5 against the Braves the last 3 seasons, whatever that's worth. And another random thing for you: the last 9 series finales, it's been win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. So they have alternated a win or a loss in the last 9 series finales. So maybe that means they lose the Chris Sale game.
T-Dog?
Yeah, so I'll go split as well. I think they do lose the Chris Sale game. I think the whole narrative coming out of that game is going to be like, damn. Because we don't see it here. You're not watching much NL baseball or whatever it may be, but it's going to be like, Chris Sale really is back. You know what I mean? This is a guy who's going to finish his career on a good note. And I think coming back to Fenway, we see how he is when emotions are high and energy's going like that. I think we might see Sale's velocity at those rates we saw in Philly maybe a year ago, where it's like, holy shit, he is pumping right now. I don't hate Steve's take of Vaughn Grissom hitting a homer either. It feels like that would kind of fit in with all the drama going around. You go to Ronaldo Lopez, who, when he has started against the Red Sox in his career, it's going, back 6 years. The ERA was over 5. Against the Red Sox in general, the ERA is over 4, even including his bullpen numbers. So yeah, I think the Red Sox will come out strong in that first game. I think the second game, Chris Sale's going to shove it down your throat. And there'll be, a certain group of fans saying, oh, well, we waited all this time and look at what Chris Sale's doing now. The reality is, just be happy. He's got his career back on track. This should be a deal that works out for everyone.
Coley?
Am I crazy, or is the series in Atlanta?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, did I say Fenway?
You said he was going to come back to Fenway and have the blood pumping.
Oh, I thought it was at Fenway.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Either way, I think Chris Sale is going to have a very good time against the Red Sox.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he's a really good pitcher. I did see people online being like, wouldn't you rather have this guy? He would have the lowest ERA in this rotation, the highest ERA in this rotation by like a sizable amount.
Half a run.
It's a lot.
It is notable.
So I'm going sweep to go on top of Steve's prediction. I think Grissom hits the home run off Sale.
I would love that.
Ooh, that would be, as the kids say, cinema.
A Grissom bat flip off a Sale.
And then he gets drilled the next time.
That's a death wish.
Yeah. To give me all of that, by the way. Home run, bat flip he throws at him. That would be incredible.
Yeah. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Coley nailed it. I got the Sox taking a quick 2 down in Atlanta.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to go Benny's banana split, but I think they win the Sale game because I think his emotions get the best of him. And because he's overthrowing his pitches, maybe the Red Sox take advantage of that. Also, maybe he does. He has no reason to shove it up our asses. I feel like
I disagree.
He's gonna want to. He's gonna want to do us a solid and be like, "I'm sorry for the last
taking
few
all your
years
money
where I couldn't. Yeah, like I couldn't take the mound for you. I owe you this one, so I'm gonna lay down my sword for you." So I got the Red Sox losing the first one, but winning the second one. Benny's banana split.
He definitely thinks they gave up on him. New guy came in, thought he was cooked. I mean, you bring in 2 pitching experts, and the first thing they did was get rid of him.
For a guy the Braves clearly didn't think was good enough to be part of their core moving forward.
Yeah,
I mean, Chris Sale never needs anything for motivation. He's going to come onto the mound on Wednesday just like, I am ready to kill everybody in that dugout.
No, I mean, Jared?
What happens again when there's a Benny's banana split?
You cram it down your throat hole.
Yeah, I know that, but like, does something else happen?
I think there's a deal at Benny's Banana Splits with a Z. At the store. There's a deal if a split happens.
It's half off.
Yeah. It's half off every banana split.
Yeah. I knew that.
Come on. I mean, the fact you even...
Yeah. It's half off a banana split at Benny's Banana Splits if the Red Sox split a series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's it? Nothing else happens.
No, that's it. That's a good deal.
You have to use...
That's a good deal. I mean, it's like, that's more for the people. I'm saying, like, are we obligated to do anything?
I mean, the whole thing came up as do we give out ketchup? So we give someone a banana split on the team.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
That's how it came about.
Yeah.
We were saying in the split, if you split, should someone get ketchup? We said, no, they get a banana split.
All right. Yeah. That makes more sense. Steve, what's the weather going to look like in Atlanta those 2 days?
Weather Look Ahead is brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears.
You chew them with your mouth.
Tuesday night, 7:20 p.m. Eastern, first pitch, 82 degrees
that's
in
hot.
Atlanta. It's
That's
hot Atlanta,
hot.
Jared. Partly cloudy, 12% chance of rain, but I don't think it's going to rain. Wednesday, 7:20
so?
p.m. I don't think so.
Wait. What happens if it rains? What are you going to do?
Nothing.
All right.
Wednesday, 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard, first pitch, 84 degrees, Jared.
Whoa, 84. That's fucking hot too.
Mostly sunny.
What's the heat index?
Oh, it's way up there. Mostly sunny
What
at the
is
start
the
of
heat index? What is the heat index?
I write this down right before the show. I don't know
All
what the
right,
heat.
well,
I'll look. I'll look it up
right.
for you. Want me to look it up for you?
Listen,
That's always where this ends, and you have to fight it before it happens. It's very funny.
Yeah, like all right. If we're gonna play in Atlanta, I need to know the heat index, and if we're playing in Houston, I need to know the humidity.
Right.
And that's a
It's very humid in
roof.
Houston.
roof, Jerry.
It opens, dude. Read
They
a
do
book.
open the
Anyways.
roof. Remember Aaron Boone thought they would have won that World Series if Houston had closed the roof?
Yep. Read a book.
Yeah,
Dude.
that's.
What's
that
the
is
heat
true.
index?
Can you buy time?
Oh my fucking god!
I think Steve's trying his best right now. I do. I believe in you, Steve.
He bought
You have
literal
1 minute
time.
to get me the fucking heat
I
index.
have 1 minute. I can get it in a minute.
You have
Uh,
1 minute to get me the heat.
You're talking UV index here.
No.
You don't want the UV. The UV index 9 of 11.
Oh boy, never forget.
That's not it.
Oh my god.
That's not
This
it.
is not as easy as you thought.
Yeah. Well, guess
Heatindex.com.
what? Clock's ticking, dude. Clock's
That
ticking,
makes it
dude.
so much harder.
I want the heat index, dude. Let's go. Get me the heat index. Uh-oh.
I'm not
Uh-oh,
gonna
dude.
get it. I'm not
Steve,
getting
are
it.
you a weatherman or not, man?
I don't have the
Steve.
heat index.
Steve. Oh, shit. I need the heat index, Steve. Steve, please. The heat index.
No, it's not on here.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, fuck.
You're all gonna die.
No. Oh, fuck.
It's not on here. What do you want me to do?
I guess
got you
people are
UV.
I guess people are gonna burn.
Yeah. It's hot.
Okay, it's hot.
84 degrees,
right.
down to around 80 degrees by the end of the series finale. And that will do it for your weather look ahead, which is brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears. Chew them with your mouth.
Yep. Okay. Steve, you have anything to say for Ronald's Napkins not getting a shout out for down in the DMs last week?
Yeah, totally fair reasoning. It was that the song cut off after one, it goes down in the DM. It's
I
supposed to
think
be
it's the
two.
same that it's always been.
Jared.
It goes down in the DM.
There you go now. Go down in the DM. There you go down. There you go down.
No, there's
No,
another one.
go back
No,
and
there's
listen.
always
No,
been another
no,
set. There's
no.
Jared,
No,
I
no,
edited
no,
it
no.
for 5 years. I know there's always another set.
Steve, go back and listen to an old episode of Section 10. That's the clip. That's the cut. Coley.
It does it twice.
Coley.
I side with Steve. It does it twice.
It does it twice, Jared.
It goes down in the DM. It go down. Go down in the DM. It go down. It go
And then
down.
no, it does it twice, Jared.
All right. You know what? Steve?
I think
Steve.
it
I'll go-
cancels each other out.
Steve, all right. I'll go back. I'll do it over for you. I'll
Okay.
make a new clip for you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tyler, final thoughts?
I'm on the Elmer Rodriguez Cruz hype train here. If anyone wants to get on it with me, please join me. He's in Salem right now. He's now hitting 98 after throwing like 91, 92 for a majority of his minor league career.
His name is
2021
Elmer?
fourth round pick.
Elmer?
Yep, Elmer
Motherfucker's name
Rodriguez
is Elmer?
Cruz.
Oh, we got a
Yep.
new E-Rod?
Stuff's looking nasty. The fact that, he was a pitchability guy with good breaking stuff and now he's in the upper 90s. Thank you to the new Red Sox pitching infrastructure. There's also a new Tyler Milliken original piece on 98.5thesportsup.com. The 6 biggest developments for the 2024 team so far.
Oh, you stopped sending me your pieces. Why?
Oh, I didn't write one last week when I was off dealing with everything. So I'll send you this one if you want to retweet it.
Yeah, fucking send it to me, yeah.
I got you, J-Dog.
Steve, final thoughts?
Yeah, I felt bad for Jack Edwards that he didn't get to call Game 7. That kind of sucks. I don't really get it. It's like Nesson can get the first round, but they can't get Game 7. That was odd. That was all I had. It's cool that he got a really good ovation at the Garden, but that call would have been, that being your last call, would have been epic. So kind of robbed of that.
Yeah, it's fair. Coley, final thoughts?
He did that job much shorter than I realized.
19
Jack?
years?
Yeah, I thought it was 17 was the final total.
That was 19. How long was
There for a long time.
Edwards?
He was a Sports Center guy, right? Way back when.
Was he?
Following his 19-year career in the Nesson broadcast booth, Edwards said goodbye to Bruins fans from Scotiabank Arena in Toronto.
They said 17 on the NBC, ABC, wherever the fuck they played that game last night on.
They lied.
Yeah, they did. That's the only game I've watched, clearly. So yeah, 19. Not much longer than 17, if we're being honest, but I did think he was like a Gorman lifer. I didn't realize he'd only been there a shade under a score.
Yeah. I definitely don't remember the Bruins without him.
That's what I mean.
No, me neither.
So, Jake's takes?
I just hope everyone's ready for 8 straight days of playoff games and with some Sox mixed in. It's going to be an all-time week.
It's going to be a grind. My watch just notified me. It was like, today's been a stressful day for you. I get that notification every day. I don't know what it is that I'm doing or not doing, but my watch is always like, damn, dude, you seem to be under a lot of stress. And I'm just watching the Sox. That's it.
Watch needs to recalibrate because clearly if that's your everyday, it's not stressful.
Maybe,
Who do you blame the most on the team right now for your heart pain?
Daisuke Matsuzaka.
Good take.
Margaret's finest.
Yeah.
If anyone over the next 8 days, I swear to Christ, if anyone tries to contact Jake via phone call, I'm going to beat him to death. Like, we hold the man's calls. Do not call Jake.
Yeah,
if
don't
a single
Jake.
call gets through, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Unless it's Daisuke, because we need him on the pod.
Well, Jake's doing that call. So Daisuke always picks up for Jake.
Yeah, I can call him. He just can't call me.
No.
Yeah.
No. If he's not on the next episode, it's because he tried to contact Jake.
Right. All right. So stay tuned for the Daisuke Matsuzaka episode on Wednesday after the Atlanta Braves series, in which the Red Sox will be going toe-to-toe with our dear friend Christopher Allen Sale. Enjoy those 2 games. Enjoy the off day. Talk to your family. You probably haven't talked to them in a few days with the playoffs going on. The Red Sox have been playing baseball. I'm sure there's people that want to hear from you. Reach out to them. Give them a little chat. And we'll see you guys probably on Thursday because we'll be recording late. Is it day game Wednesday?
Night game.
Oh, boo.
I hate it.
Oh,
7:20. Boo.
Boo. Boo. All right. It's
tough.
going to be a late pod, so you'll get the pod on Thursday then. All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Buenas noches, amigos.